I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
Oh, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. Get more with Geico.
Hi, I'm Kyle, a tired therapist.
And I'm Jackie, also a tired therapist.
And together, we are
Two Tired Therapists.
Welcome to the pod. And then
when she explained the definition of beef to me, like I was 85 years old, I said, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Right. Get out of my office.
She's like, you know what that means, right? And I said, yes. I said, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Get out of my office.
Oh my God.
You're fired.
Yeah. She was so funny. But anyways, well,
welcome. Here we are. This is just a normal start to an episode where we just talk. How's it going?
It's going. Life is lifing.
I feel like that's, lifing.
But that's such a good description.
Yeah. Well, you know,
fall is closely approaching. Don't know when this episode will come out, but that will be
as of now.
For
yeah,
us.
it's real nice. Supposed to be like in the 70s.
Yeah, but the temp's supposed to drop here in a minute, which will be very nice. Let me look at my little.
But is it? You know, is it just going to be a tease? I think so. Feels too early. But global warming, who knows?
I don't know. This next week it's sunny and the highest is 76.
I know. Oh, it sounds great.
So
love it.
Anywho's.
Love it.
What are you tired of?
I'm just gonna go with the big topic, if I may. I think it's tired that prostitution is illegal.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I agree with you, actually.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I was gonna say it's not 100, but it is mostly 100% illegal. But in certain states of the United States,
that's true.
It's not illegal.
But even still, it's not. I don't
Do you ever read stories of people who are sex workers and like some of the stuff they do has nothing to do with sex? Like it's like literally listening to some like what we do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, could I have somebody pay me $500 for an hour just to like listen to them?
I mean, I guess I could together. But, right. Like, sure.
Right. Spoon.
Yeah. Sure. For $500? Shit. I'd probably do it for $100. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah.
No, I
did that shit for free in college. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would do it for $500.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm with. I think
especially because you know me, world traveler. Went to Amsterdam last year and learned about how it's a profession.
Oh,
and how it is. Like, they have to pay taxes and they have rules and it's very much just a profession.
Yeah.
And why does it matter if someone wants to sell their body and make money?
Again, this is in the arena for me of like, this is your life. If that is what you want to do, like, who am I to tell you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't, whatever. It's not, your life is your life. My life is my life. You do what you do.
Now, if you're trying to prostitute my children, okay, don't.
Right.
Please don't. I get those are my kids to prostitute, first off. But
I need to profit off of that.
I will need to profit off of my children. Thank you. Not you. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get because I think if I was really hot, I'd do it. Are you kidding me?
I love that you don't think you're hot.
No, God, no. What? You think I could do that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, honey. Oh, thank you so much. But no, not in gay standards. I'm a troll.
Well, if you ever need to convert to the straights, you'd be good to go.
I had therapy today, and I was telling my therapist, Jamie. Hi, Jamie. She probably doesn't listen.
Hi, Jamie.
And she was like, I said something about that because I was probably complaining about Edward, and I was like, I even thought like, should I be straight? And she was like, don't do it. She was like,
no.
She was like, I hate my straight couple. She's like, I'm so sorry. She didn't say hate, but she was just like,
it's not.
She was like, no.
No, I get it. I understand completely.
She was like, it's not better over here. I was like, okay.
No, it's not,
great,
but
great.
You'll be fine.
We'll figure it out.
If shit goes south in the U.S. like it is, you'll find a lovely, like you said, you'll find a lovely big boobed lady that you will.
Did I say that? Oh, I did.
We had this. This was not that long ago of an episode where you were
know I
talking
don't
about like in
remember
the
things.
alternate universe, straight Kyle is with like
big girl,
us,
big
like
girl,
it was
big
like
boobs.
like
I
a
do.
big
I
girl with
do.
big boobs. Yeah,
That's true. Well, I may have to. Welcome to Gilead.
If I wasn't married, we could have a lavender marriage.
There you
Have
go.
you seen? Okay, let me just ask you. You've probably
Sure.
not seen this. These. And I'm again. This is going to sound like I'm judging. I really am not. There's this couple on social media where he identifies as gay and he married a woman and is like,
Girl.
she's everything.
Girl.
I don't need another dick. She's perfect. And they do all these like I'll find them and I'll send them their profile to you so you can look.
Are
on
they
your
famous people?
They're like actors. Like they're like Broadway actors. I think her name is like Samantha. It starts with an S, and I forget what his name is. And they got legitimately married, and they talk about like I just want to be like, do you guys like? This sounds so bad.
I'm gonna look.
My mom is gonna hate this, but I'm like, do you guys have sex? Like, I can't tell because the way that they talk, they're like, how can you like? They just like they're always like, this is my gay husband, but we are really married, and I'm like,
Jacob Hoff.
I think that's the guy.
And
Yeah.
Samantha Wynn.
Yes. I was gonna say her name was like Sam or Samantha. I can't. I don't know. This sounds so bad. I'm so sorry. I don't know if it's interesting to me. I don't know how to feel about it because I'm just like, you do, again, this is my arena of like, this is your life, but you're making it public and you're like making a lot of content about it. And I just don't know. Like, it just seems a little interesting to me. Again, I am not. They're in a mixed orientation marriage. And he talks about how like he's like, she's my soulmate. Like, I don't care. Like, we do everything a married couple does. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, do you guys fuck. And then apparently I Googled it and somebody that led to a Reddit chain where somebody's like, they're intimate, but on a different level. What the fuck does that even mean?
Girl.
Anyways.
I'm so sorry. We don't have time to get into that, but
no, we don't.
I don't know. Love is love. Love wins. I say that. And I'm sure it's fine. As I always say, I absolutely support everyone in their life and what they do.
Sure.
That does not preclude the idea that I have something to say about it.
Sure.
So I'm not sure about it. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
They come up on my For You page every couple of months.
And again, I say this with love. Is the person trans?
No.
Oh.
Neither of them are. And that I know of. No.
I don't know. You know what? Sure. As long as you're not hurting somebody else. Fine. Not for me.
Not for me. It's not for me.
Anyways, what's tired for you? What's going on?
So we're sitting here and talking, I realize and this is going to get maybe a little political. It's fine.
It's fine. It's our podcast.
I am a little tired of like the mental gymnastics of justifying what's happening in our country. It really is tired. I'm like, can we just like all collectively be like, let's talk about the Epstein files. Like we're doing such mental gymnastics to not release this. And then they've released some stuff, but it's like,
can we just rip the Band-Aid off? Like, let's just find out. Let's see who's wrong.
Well, we all know who is wrong.
Well, let's have the evidence now.
Right. It's tired. And even in general, just like the mental gymnastics of like what is happening is really tired to me. I'm like, I don't know what to say to people anymore because I'm just like, you are using so many weird like justifications of everything that like it doesn't even make sense anymore.
Right. At this point, just tell us you're building concentration camps.
Right. So I mean, it's just like that kind of mental gymnastics of it all is. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with it. I'm like, this just sounds like I've had more intelligent conversations that made more sense with people who were speaking in word salad.
Yeah. Well, it takes more.
Which is basically what's happening at a presidential level in our country.
It takes more energy to be delusional, I think.
It does.
I really
do. It shockingly doesn't burn more calories for some people.
Well, it shows. And it shows. I agree. I agree with you. It's so tired. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't get it. Anyways. Well.
Speaking of mental gymnastics.
Some of our, this is for our select audience. We're doing a niche.
This is niche.
A niche
and it's actually
episode today.
Really hilarious because we talked about this on a mic check it was the reality show mic check where you were this is one of the only ones I watch. Yep. I had not watched it at that point. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. And holy mother of God,
Yep.
Justin and I got sucked into
Hosanna on the highest.
So we're gonna talk about the Traitors today, the TV show.
Yeah.
I'll probably stick to US because you've only seen the US, but I will talk about some
Yeah.
UK stuff because there's
Yeah, I
things that
haven't seen
apply.
the UK one.
Honestly, I think the UK one is better because it's non-celebrities. They're apparently going to do a British celebrity season soon.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun.
And apparently they will be doing a normie, is what I like to call it,
Yeah.
a non-celebrity American season, which you can apply
Oh.
for soon. I think you can
think
apply
we
for it
should-
now, but they're doing the
we
casting.
should do it.
So if you've not watched Traitors, it's for you, Mom.
Kathy, get
I
on
really
the
want her
Traitors
to watch it,
train.
but I know she's like, it's not really my thing. But I do
No,
think
you'll
I
love
think
it.
she would actually like the
It's
UK.
messy,
She
it's
would
messy.
she would like the UK one probably better because it's although and I told her this, you don't really need for the US version, you really don't need to know who they are. You really don't need to know
No,
who they
you
are.
don't. You don't.
But so I'll do a summary. This is what ChatGibbet came up with, which is actually a pretty good summary. So The Traitors is a reality competition show set in a Scottish castle where a group of contestants, some reality veterans, the first season of the US does have it's half celebrity, half non-celebrity, play a high stakes game of trust and betrayal. A few players are secretly chosen as traitors whose job is to murder, they're not actually killing people, faithful players in the night while avoiding suspicion. The faithfuls must work together to identify and banish the traitors, but paranoia and manipulation constantly cloud their judgment. And boy, does it ever. Along the way, players compete in challenges to build up the prize pot, which only the surviving faithfuls or traitors, if they last to the end, get to claim. An important distinction is if it is all faithfuls in the end, they all get to split the pot. But if it is, a group of three and one of them is a traitor, the sole traitor or the traitors get the entire pot.
Right.
So, and then there are so many countries of traitors. There's the US, there's UK, there's Australia. I think there's a New Zealand. An Irish one is coming soon.
Oh, fun.
So there's multiple, and they all are at this. Well, at least the US and the UK, they are at the same castle.
Yeah.
This is no different.
Right.
So we'll talk about this because this is really interesting. So, and I guess spoilers, maybe I've tried to remove as much spoilers as possible. So a lot of this though is social psychology, which I don't know how you feel or like social psychology. I love it. It's really interesting. So, trust and suspicion thoughts, talk about it. Specifically in this.
For me, what I love, and I've seen,
You've seen the US.
I've seen the US. I don't think I saw the first season because
You had to have seen.
there's 2 and 3, right? It's about to be a third season.
It's about to be a fourth season.
Then I think I don't think I saw the very first season.
Oh, you have got to watch.
I think I just saw 2 and 3.
You didn't watch
I didn't
the
watch the
3?
norms. Nope.
Oh,
I
wow.
did not.
You got to watch that
And
one. That one's
then
good.
I've watched Australia, which I think it was the second season, which was normies.
Yeah.
But what I think is funny between normies and celebrities is
Is
that
really funny.
the belief that they feel they can read people,
The norms.
both.
Okay.
Because how many, like in both, are they like, I can read people, I know when they're lying, I know when they're this, I know when they're that. And then again, us behind the scenes, when they're going, well, I think it's so and so, you're like, holy fuck balls, you are so off.
One of them in, I think it's the US season, the first season, one of the normies, he's like a political analyst. I think his name is Quentin. He's like, I can read people like a book. He never had who the traitors were correct, ever.
Right.
And I told
You're
Justin,
reading a
I
book
said,
like you're blind.
I said, I would never
Exactly.
look in camera and be like, I can read you. Now, we'll talk about it later.
Right. But I think that's what's funny. Because then once you get into it,
it's
you are on guard, and so and that's what you see. Like they're like, oh well, so and so they looked at me at breakfast for 5 seconds instead of 4 seconds, and so they're a traitor.
Oh, we'll talk a lot about that. But yeah, it's like it's like
paranoia.
Because what happens is when you go into the castle as a group of 20 something, it's like 22 or something like that. When you first arrive there, nobody has been chosen as whatever.
Right.
And then that night there's a ceremony where everybody puts on a blindfold.
Right.
And if you're in the US, it's Alan Cumming, great host. If in the UK, it's Claudia Winkleman. She hosts lots of stuff. Love her too. They walk around in a circle a couple times and then they'll tap the person they want to be a traitor on the shoulder. And so you don't see it. And then as soon as the blindfolds come off, game's on.
Right.
And so it's really funny because it's like you said, and it goes into like groupthink and like confirmation bias of like,
right.
If you and I were at the table and you take off your blindfold and you cough and I'm like,
right.
and you can't see me, but I'm doing the white man blinking me.
Right.
But like,
Right.
I mean, and it's so funny because for some people it changes. And so then that's
Yep.
how they basically justify like who is a traitor and who isn't at the beginning, because when
Right.
there's so many of them, it is very hard. There's no fucking way.
But it becomes wildfire. I mean, it's like, yeah, you see me blinking and then you go to so-and-so and you're like, oh, well, he blinked at me.
Right.
And then they go, oh, and then
Again,
like,
confirmation bias.
exactly.
You're like, it's funny because
Exactly.
it's like you're choosing based on your own perception of what's happening.
Right.
Like if I think someone is guilty who always, like doesn't make eye contact with me, like that's your own belief. That's not necessarily the truth.
Right. Exactly.
And
And I think that's where they go wrong is they get too honed in on that. And it's like, and
some of the rationale is wild.
wild. And that's where I was like, that's where you have to watch of whose behavior changes from before that ceremony to after.
Right.
And I realize that part of this is for TV. And so they
and
don't
you-
want you to be too good
You
at it.
can't
but
do it off of 1 to 2 weeks. You have to be watching for like
baseline, baby.
or maybe we should say, I don't know how long technically they're in the castle. I'm sure they
Right.
film for like 2 weeks straight. So like you're not talking about like day 1, day 2. Like you have to watch some of these people for multiple days in a row.
Right.
Because
Right.
like some of the rationale, and I can't think of anything like off the top of my head, but there are some people who like are literally use like, well, they were quiet this day. And it's like,
Right.
well, maybe I was like not
Right.
feeling whatever.
Or they'll take, like, with the celebrity ones, especially the ones who were reality shows, they'll be like, well, when they were in Survivor, they were this way.
Right.
Okay.
We can't be using old stuff. Like we can't
like,
be using,
right.
which is, it's fine. You can say like when they were on Survivor, they were, a cutthroat, blah, 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 which does happen because like there is people that they bring in that are the ones who've played like Big Brother, Survivor, I think tend to be a little bit better at this kind of game
Yeah.
because it's a social game.
Right.
And you have to play that the right way. But also people also judge people based on the way they look, how confident they are.
Just
in their own charisma.
Right.
Which
their own charisma,
we could
uniqueness, nerve, and
well,
talent.
we can talk about Bob the drag queen because Bob is in
Girl.
season 3. And this is not really a spoiler because of whatever, but Bob was a traitor and was really outspoken, which is not the greatest thing to do, but also like had Bob not been outspoken, that would have been pegged as
that's
weird.
what I'm saying.
So
like,
it's like you have a hard time.
if you come in day one and you're like loud spoken
Blah,
and
blah,
blah, blah,
blah,
blah,
yeah.
and then after the traitor,
Right,
you're like,
whoop. Yeah.
then you now have a target on your back.
I will say, the UK. Well, we'll talk about it later, I'm sure. But the first UK season is the wildest thing I think I've ever seen on TV, because a lot of the other thing too, and we'll talk about it in a second because we're going to talk about the traitor psychology.
Oh.
But some of them crack like an egg.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the
Exactly.
psychology of being a traitor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts before I give you a bunch of stuff.
Well, so it's weird. You're now an outsider, but you can't
And you're
act
lying.
like you're an outsider.
Right.
And you're lying, and you have to really be careful with lies. You make them simple.
Right. We shouldn't be doing grand,
Right.
which a lot of people fuck that up.
Because you have to also remember what you've said too.
The other thing is you constantly have to have a person that you can name as a traitor that is not a traitor with an actual justifiable reason why they are a traitor.
Right.
And you also have to be able to like talk. You can't get scared.
Right. You can't be behind the scenes.
Right. And so what's hard too is we've talked about this before. There's like you have to sort of like put aside you're a traitor and like how you feel about everybody, because you end up becoming friends with these people.
Yeah.
Like you're doing these wild missions, like you're
Right.
jumping out of helicopters,
Right,
you're like,
right.
Whatever. But
I think you have to be able to
You have to
weave
just-
in and out. Just
Yes.
like basically you have to act like you're not a traitor, which I know is
that's why I told Justin, I was
Big.
like, you almost have to pretend like while you're
Right.
with everybody, you're faithful.
yes.
And then when you get
And
your
act
ass
as such.
in the turret, you are now
right.
like,
Because think of just the other faithfuls where there was some times where like one of them was championing a name,
right.
and then other times they were following.
right.
But again, as a traitor, you can't come in and control and be the champion every time, because now you are a traitor.
Well,
And you also can't just sit back and follow,
right.
because now it looks
Right.
suspicious.
Well, and what's also funny too is,
like you can't be on the extremes.
well, and what's funny, I know you didn't watch the UK season. I hate to use it because we just watched it, but the third season in the UK, one of the traitors, she is very, very like blah, 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 all the time, and everybody clocks her immediately. They're like, "Why the fuck are you trying to control the round table.
Right.
Because basically what happens too, I guess we didn't explain this very well. So like every night there's a banishment ceremony where like I said sort of in the description, like they all get to decide who gets banished, and everybody votes, and whoever has the most votes gets banished. And then at the end they go in this circle and they say, I am a faithful, I am a traitor.
Right.
They have to admit what they are. And then that night the traitors get together in the turret, in a part of the castle, and they decide to murder somebody, basically to eliminate somebody sight unseen.
Right. Which that you have to be careful about. We can talk about that in a second.
Yeah, because I do want to talk about that, because that is very interesting too. So then they have to make the choice of who to murder, which that has consequences.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
because
again, you can't be too.
Well, you can't pick somebody who's picked you as a traitor.
Right.
You can't murder that person, so that makes it hard.
But you can't go off in left field either, because then
sometimes it's better though if you do that.
It depends. I think that's where people go into it going, I know my exact strategy, and I think the strategy is no strategy. Is in the moment, adjust. What's everyone talking about? Okay, everyone's saying so and so is. I'm going to jump on that. Okay, no one really wants to say a name. I'm going to jump on saying a name.
Yeah.
So
there's some that, and then of course the traitors, like, they're constantly afraid. I mean, they probably, some of them probably wouldn't admit it, but you I mean, that is
you're paranoid. I would say,
and that makes
you're having to watch yourself to be like, am I giving away too much? Because you can't seem too confident.
No,
because you're safe. You know that you're not going to get killed. Maybe you'll get banished, but you're not going to get killed.
Right.
So you don't. But you still have to be worried that you're going to be killed.
Yeah.
But
you can always be banished.
But in the challenges too, you have to be careful, because a lot of the times in the challenges they can win immunity.
Yes.
So again,
I was literally just thinking about this. I was like,
you have to be careful, because if you are a traitor and you are like, I don't need immunity. Like if you're not,
it looks suspicious.
That looks suspicious. But if you're doing too much,
if you're getting too many,
well, and we'll talk about that.
Well, and if you're trying to grab the immunity too many times, it looks suspicious too.
Suspicious too. Like, why are you so desperate to grab it? Like, especially if your name's never been like. There's all these variables you have to think of. Like, if my name's not being talked about and has never been talked about, and everyone considers me a faithful, but I'm like, I need immunity.
Yeah,
like they're gonna be like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, it's interesting. So, on the flip of this, let's talk about faithfuls, because you just talked about, anxiety, paranoia. Well, it's the same thing on the faithful side, because you don't know who's who.
But it's external.
Sure.
Whereas the traitors, they have to look at themselves and how they're interacting. Faithfuls just have to watch other people.
Well, we can talk about projection and that, because some of them, I will say, I did talk to you about this, and I know you didn't watch it, but in the UK season, I think it was the third season, I remember coming to work and being like, I watched a man have a live mental breakdown because he was not a traitor, but couldn't verbalize it, but was so freaked out. He literally was like, and everybody was like, you're a traitor because you can't even fucking form a sentence.
Right.
And he was just so anxious and upset that he couldn't and I'm sitting there, and Justin and I were like talking about this, and I'm like, here's the thing. I was like, if I was sitting in that room, I would think he was a traitor because you're so freaked out. I said, but watching it as a viewer, I mean, it's very obvious to me that he's not a traitor.
Right.
And just to see in real time how that really affected him, and how there's a lot of projection. There is something very wild that happens in the UK first season where I will say they tend to have people who have prior relationships. Mm-hmm. So on one season, there is a mom and a son. On another season, there is a boyfriend, girlfriend. Oh. There's people who have, and then on the third season, it's siblings. Mm-hmm. So there's typically two people that are related or have some sort of prior relationship. And to see how in the first season it gets revealed in a crazy way at breakfast, and then the second season it does not get revealed until one of them leaves, and then in the second and the third season, everybody knew going in that these two were sisters. Mm-hmm. So that also is really interesting because there's a lot of especially when they were hiding the relationships, it was really stressful for some of them.
Yeah.
And you would think it would get, especially the mother-son one, would get found out.
Well, because
nobody was nobody knew it.
Well, because I think people attribute more weight to their behavior than others.
Sure.
So it's you have to think how to not treat this person as your child, but at the same time,
he was having a hard time not calling his mom.
Right.
And he was like really struggling with that. And then he would do really funny stuff. They'd all be in a group and they'd be like talking about their home life and he'd be like, yeah, my mom makes the worst like roast. And his mom is right there.
Right.
And she's like, you have to come to my house and have my roast. My roast is pretty good. And he's like, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. That's hilarious.
Funny. So like, there's a lot of that. There's also like we said, there's like a social game to this, but also you have to be smart. You can't do all social. You can't do all strategy.
Right.
Where are you on this line? Like if you had to put yourself, I'm going to play more of it. Like if you were going to play this game, I know we're going to do discussion questions. That's not one. If you were going to play this game, would you be more social or more strategic?
I mean, you have to do both. I think that's the thing.
Right.
Like you have to be ready to like use the cards that you're given.
Sure.
Right. Like I just think like in the most recent season of UK, there was a point where one of the traitors got like they were on them. I won't say who.
Are you talking about the U.S. season?
I'm sorry, the U.S.
Yeah.
Like they honed in on them. Like this person is a traitor. We're going out. And when it got to the other traitors, they were like, we got to go with the flow. We got to do it. And they voted that person out. So like you have to be ready to play that. You can't start changing people's mind unless like it's warranted.
Sure.
But in that moment, like if any one of the traitors would have tried to change their mind, the people's minds, they would have been caught. Well, so I think you have to do both. You have to be social. I think you have to find your like little clique.
Yes, I'm with you.
You have to find kind of your people who are faithfuls and who people look at as faithfuls and be seen in that context. I
think I would personally play a slightly more social game in the sense that I would be finding a group of people that we all either if I was a traitor or a faithful, either way, I would still do this. And then I would honestly keep my strategy mostly to myself. I would give people enough to like go somewhere with it. Like if it was me and you playing and you and I were like in an alliance and I was a traitor and you were a faithful and I knew this, I would be like, oh, well, like I still think kind of like I would give you, I'd be like, Justin, I think is a traitor because, I would always have a rationale. What kills me about some of this is like, they all can't talk themselves out, all of both faithful and traitor, and they're not fast. And so when Justin and I were watching it, I was just like, if I was like, there was one, I can't remember if it was U.S. One of them was just like, you did this. And I don't even remember what it was. And like, he couldn't like refute it. And he wasn't even a traitor, but he couldn't like talk himself out of it. And I was like, I would always have like 3 excuses on the ready, period.
Right.
Like there was like in the UK season 3, I will say this is not a huge spoiler, but so at the ceremony where they choose the traitors, one of them, the host is like traitors, and she like whips her head, and one guy saw it and he didn't go for her right away. He did tell her, he was like, you literally like turned your head when she said traitors. And she was like, oh, I was just listening. And I told Justin, I said, honestly, that's the only thing you can do in that situation. Right. You cannot, there's no other justification for that. But so there's a little bit of that.
Yeah. And I think as far as the strategy, what they did a lot, again, I'm just thinking from the most recent US one, a lot of the times they would go like, say, I thought it was you. Before roundtable, they go, well, I think it's you.
Yeah.
I would not fucking do that. I would bring it up at roundtable.
Yeah. I would not be bringing...
I would ask other people, but I'd be like, what do you guys think about Jackie?
Well, and you have to be careful about how often you're asking and who you're asking, because that also looks suspicious.
That's true. Well, right.
But I'm with you.
But like, say something, like say you did that, say you whipped your head, and I would not come to you before and say that. I would go to I'd go to Justin, and I'd be like,
catch him off guard.
I'd be like, I saw Jackie do this, and I'd see what everyone thinks, and then I'd be like, I'm going to bring it up at roundtable, but I would not tell you.
No,
I would wait for your
because
the moment reaction, because I don't want you to think about what are you going to do.
Well, and again, this is the art of gaslighting, because it's like I'm
Hello,
gaslighting.
I'm going to be
gaslighting,
absolutely,
especially as a traitor. You are doing a lot of that. Because it's like you kind of want, so like it's real, and the US is a good example of traitors sticking together versus traitors not sticking together.
Right.
UK has the same kind of issue
but
with it too.
But you have to know when to not, though. That's the thing. But you cannot go in and be like, traitors stick together, because they did that in Australia, and I felt bad for, I can't remember her name, but she was like, traitors to the end, and then they fucked her over. Well, and she did not see it coming until they pulled up her little name in the round table. And I'm like, girl, you got to be ready. Like,
Well, like you said, there
You gotta
are
be
moments,
ready.
and and I will say in the UK third season, the traitor who whipped her head, at a certain, I mean, she was accused like for weeks, like multiple weeks.
Sure.
It was just her and another traitor, and she talked to the other traitor, and she was like, "I know it's going to be me, and you have to vote for me, and I am not mad about it." And I told Justin, I said, "This
That's
is
how you do
this
it.
is the only
Yep.
one where I'm like." Because the U.S. shockingly is a little bit more cutthroat,
Yeah.
like with each other and the traitorness of it all. And like I told Justin, I was like, that was the nicest thing she could have done to her
Right.
because she knew, like, I'm going to get voted out. I'm about to be
Right.
effed in the B.
Yeah.
And so, like, guess what? It's fine. I'm not mad at you. Like, you have to vote for me because if you don't, it looks even more suspicious.
Exactly. And I think that's
we
like,
could have a whole episode about traitors
but
and
you
their
have
vote
to-
and what they do, and
but
how
that-
that's read
but
into.
I think that's your strategy is you have to like
You have to go with the group.
sometimes you can't pivot. Like
No.
in that instance, like she was
It
playing
gets-
well where there's no way you can get away from that because
Well-
if you sit there and go, well, someone else did it too, like that
Right,
didn't work.
right.
Like,
Well,
you
in-
have to go like,
and
all
when
right,
the group, it gets
let go and let God.
It's easier when there's more. When it becomes less, you're
Yeah.
fucked. You have to vote for the traitor.
But that's the thing too. You have to stay the same.
Yes.
When there's 8 people left versus when there's
Right.
24, like whatever, however much it starts
Right.
with. Like,
Right.
you better be the same.
Right.
If you're getting more and more confident as time goes on, you better be careful.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's an interesting
Yeah.
dynamic and an interesting like way to play it. But let's take a break, and
Yeah.
then I have some really interesting discussion questions
Can't
that are
wait.
going to determine the rest of our friendship. Well, we'll be right back. We're back.
We're back. Here we are.
All right.
We have stuff to talk about.
Here's our discussion questions, and we will both answer these. So don't feel like I'm just going to make you answer some of these.
Happy to.
Would you? So if we were gonna, let's say we got casted for this, would you rather be a faithful or a traitor?
Traitor.
And why?
Because it's fun. I don't want to be a stupid faithful. I want to be a traitor. I want to gaslight and manipulate people till the cows come home.
Right. I also agree with you. I think I would
Yeah.
want to be a traitor, and I think I would want to be a traitor because I think it would be fun. Also, I think it would be really easy to manipulate people.
Yes.
And the people, and
So sorry,
but sometimes
yes.
I'm like, I think I would rather be a faithful, but I think there's more, honestly, shockingly, I think there's more risk in being a faithful
Yeah.
than there is a traitor.
I don't,
Especially in the beginning.
It's just people who, again, like I go into this idea that people go in there like, I can read people. No, not in this situation. You can't. Can you read people that you meet with regularly over the course of a year? Yeah,
Right.
Probably.
Right.
But 2
Now,
weeks?
Let me
No.
ask you this. This is not a question on my, but I just thought of this. Would you tell people that you are a therapist? I would not.
No, God, no.
I would not.
Oh, absolutely not.
I would tell people I would make up a different career.
Absolutely not. And I would pick something. that
have
makes
to-
me sound stupid.
You'd have to pick something though that you can answer questions about that doesn't like draw suspicion to you.
True. But I think you have to be careful because a lot of times people will assume like personality traits based on what you do.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm a doctor,
No.
or anything. I'd probably be like,
In the UK, it's bad to be a doctor. If you're a doctor, they think you're a traitor.
well, there you go. There you go. I'd probably be like, oh, I work for the cable company or something.
I think I would use my prior job of being an auditor, like a medical
There you
records
go.
auditor,
Yeah.
because it's like I mean, you could do the same thing. It's not even that hard to
I'm
like
a prostitute.
right. And go for it.
But again, they'd be like, you? Are you? Oh.
Be like, what?
What?
Okay, tell me. Do you think the lying of being a traitor would constantly stress you out, or would you thrive in the chaos?
The lying would not bother me. The chaos would, I don't know. I would like to think that I can pivot really well in these moments.
Sure.
Because the other thing that we didn't talk about too, like with the
Yeah.
traitors when they kill people off, is you have to think like 10 steps ahead. It's like chess. You have to think
Yes.
if we killed this person,
Yes.
what are the ripples? I feel like I would be good at that.
Yes.
And I feel like in those moments, again, like if one of my fellow traitors was being focused on, I think I'd be real good at being like, yep, it's them. For sure.
Well, and I think, like you said, we didn't like talk about it too. Like, after the murders, everybody has to go to breakfast. So as a traitor, you have to act surprised when people get
but not
murdered.
too surprised.
Right. So like, there's a little bit of acting. I
was president of the drama club in high school, so
Shocking.
I think I could do it.
I think I would be fine up until a point where it gets to like 10 people or less.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that kills me is like, especially when the traitors make it to like the final circle or whatever, like now you're looking at people who are your friends and you're having to tell them I am a faithful. And like, there is a very dramatic, like UK one. And there is also one in the US season of like having to basically talk about I'm a traitor to people who have literally defended you.
Yeah.
That is wild. That is fucked up. That's fucked up.
That was, I think, the Australia one I watched. I think it came down, it was like this young girl and this older man, and they got super close. And the old man was like so nice. And I don't know, he had some kind of like tragic backstory, like his wife died or something. And they like got to the end because she played them good, I will say, because they were both faithfuls. And almost the faithfuls got her, but I don't remember in the end, he went with the traitor. So they're sitting there and they're like, it's just you guys, yay. And he's like, oh my gosh, like the faithfuls made it. And she was like, I'm not a faithful. And he like like cried. I was like, damn. I think that would suck. I do think one thing I would be bad at as a traitor is if my name came into play and they started accusing me, I think I would have a hard time with that, because I think I'd be like, well, Jackie's one too. Like I think that would be me. Yeah. And you're not one though. You know what I mean? Like, I would just be like, well, you're stupid. Yeah. Like I don't think I would. Yeah, no. I don't know how I would deal with that. That's tough. Ooh,
why do you think the group always turns on innocent faithful so quickly?
Because they don't fucking know.
Yeah, I think it's a combo.
What's it called? It's called something, isn't it? Called like, I want to say it's called like wildfire or something like that. It's
part of its groupthink.
Yeah, like groupthink of like, it's that contagion effect, I think is what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Like you said, like, oh, I saw you whipped your head around really fast, and then you tell that to me and I'm like, oh yeah, that does. And then I tell someone and they tell someone, and then it becomes this groupthink. It's groupthink.
I think the other thing too is I think in the beginning when there's more, I think what happens is like we talked about earlier,
it just happens.
Little things become bigger things, and I think that's why.
But I think, your brain fills in the gaps because there's uncertainty, right? You don't know at the end of the day who is a traitor. Just because someone whipped their head.
The only people who know who's who are the traitors.
Right. And Alan Cummings.
Yeah. And the host, because the host picks them, so they know. But
I think that's where you have to be careful of, like, you have to be ready to explain things with multiple reasons. Right? Like, oh, maybe they whipped their head because of this and this and this. And like, what makes the most sense? Yeah. I don't think they do that. They hone in.
Sure. Tell me. This is going to determine our friendship.
Oh.
Let's say we're playing this game.
Okay.
Who would get banished first between the two of us and come up with a completely unhinged reason as to why?
Oh. Well, I think it'd be a toss-up.
Oh.
Because
deflecting.
Well,
I'm kidding. I think it would probably be me. And I think because I would stay more quiet, I think.
See, I was gonna say that about me though.
The other thing I could see is I did not act appropriately at the breakfast, because I would have a hard time like faking that kind of like,
I could see that.
knowing.
I could see that. Yeah.
I think you probably would play a better social game in some instances than I would.
Yeah.
I think people would be like, you're too quiet. Like, that's risky.
I could see you at breakfast. Like, someone's being like, oh my gosh, I just can't believe this is happening. You'd be like, I know, right? Like, it would be so
girl.
Right. But I think, I could see myself being too quiet, or I think just how I come off. I think I do just naturally look suspicious and kind of mean. So I think that wouldn't work for me.
Right. I wonder sometimes if like my past prison experience would be good as like a me to read, but I really don't think it, because the only thing you can say about watching people is you have to watch them for a period of time. You're not going to glean anything about somebody's behaviors after 2 hours.
Or you have to just take that at face value. Like you can't be like, oh, I don't know, they shut down right now, so that's how they always are. Like you could just be like, you just go, okay, they shut down. Gonna file that away,
right?
Until I need that.
We did sort of. Well, I'm gonna let's talk. What psychological trait do you think is most useful in a game? I'm gonna give you a list: charisma, paranoia,
uniqueness,
nerve
talent,
emotional intelligence, or ruthlessness.
Say that way. Go by.
Pick one
Of which one is
which one is the most useful
as a traitor, or in this game?
Period. Charisma, paranoia, emotional intelligence, or ruthlessness.
I would say a combination. I don't want to say ruthlessness. I would say emotional intelligence.
I agree.
Number
I think
one,
it's emotional intelligence. And
then you also have to have. I don't want to say ruthlessness, but like whatever a step down from that is. Like I said, you can't go in like for this game, for example. You can't go in being like traitors for life. Right. You have to be ready to fuck over your fellow traitor. You have to be ready to fuck over someone that you get close to.
Right. I'm looking up like synonyms for. Because it means lacking pity or compassion. Actually, I think you need to be a little bit compassionate as a traitor, because if you're not, then like
right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think
maybe like what, like pitless? Is that pithless?
I don't know.
What is that? Is that a word?
Let me see if there's like a better synonym.
Oh, that's not it.
Ruthlessness. I mean, you do have to have a certain amount of viciousness in a way. Not ruthless to me implies you don't give a shit about anything. I do think there needs to be a little, maybe savage. You need to be a little bit more savage than the rest. But I think emotional intelligence for me is like number one. I think honestly the second one for me in some ways is charisma. You have to be able to like,
but you can't be too charismatic.
I know, but you have to have enough charisma that you can influence people. I do think that you need to have like a certain amount of like savage, like you have to be able to compartmentalize what's happening, which is where the ruthlessness comes in. But anyways, okay, ready? You ready for the next one? You're looking at pithness.
I was still looking up the word to see what I could.
Do you think you could actually tell if someone was lying to you in the game, or would you be easily gaslit?
I don't think I would be easily gaslit, because I would go in being like, I don't trust any of you. First off,
yeah, I think
including my fellow traitors.
No, you should never trust anybody.
Again, I think I would go in. I think I might say, like, I'm not sure that I trust this. Like, I'm not sure this person's telling the truth, but I wouldn't take that as like absolute.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right. Like,
I don't know that I'm with you. I think I would not trust anybody. And I think I would be very open about that. I'd be like, I don't trust anybody. Now, if you and I were in this game, we didn't know each other, and like we got to know each other, like maybe I would trust you a fraction more than somebody else.
Until I couldn't.
Right. But I also don't think I sometimes think I am a good judge of lying, but some people are really good at it where it is hard. And then you watch people and you're like, holy fuck. Like if I was in there, like I would probably believe you.
Sometimes I wish they would do a season where they don't tell the viewer.
That's kind of what I told Justin. I said that would be really an interesting season where you.
I know it wouldn't be exactly the same as if you were there, but
it would be hard for them to do like confessionals and stuff.
Yeah. But I think I agree.
Like the mole.
I feel like I'm a good judge of character. But again, it's what I said earlier of that's knowing, like having multiple interactions with someone over an amount of time. Sure, when I meet someone, do I have a sense of who they are? Maybe, but.
Well, and if you don't know them, it's like, how do you know when they're lying?
But there's no risk, right? If I'm in this kind of high risk situation like this game, you've got other factors you have to think of. And like you said, you may be a good judge of character, but some people are good at hiding it too.
Well,
so that's the thing.
I'm with you.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I would not go into it like freaking, what was the one housewife who was like, I'm a good judge of character, and then voted for Tom fucking Sandoval every freaking
Dolores.
Time. Dolores, come on. Dolores, call in. We need to talk to you about it.
They did do the doll challenge on the UK season, and it was so funny.
Boo boo.
It was funnier than. Oh no, not funnier. Tom Sandoval was still funny.
Tom Sandoval.
Okay, 2 more questions.
Okay,
and we kind of talked about this one already. But do you think being a therapist would help or hurt in a game like this? I think it would help.
It could help, but again, you can't get
too intertwined with people's stuff,
and you can't be you can't be like, well, I'm a therapist, so I'm going to do really good at this game,
right?
You know, like
yeah.
you have to you have to go into it like ready to move. You got to go in like flubber, remember flubber?
Yes,
like,
yes.
You can't go in like I'm a boss bitch.
You have to be okay to like. The other thing too, and we could probably do multiple episodes on this, but like we didn't talk about like when you get accused, you have to like not react and you have to be like very calm, but you also have to have kind of an emotional response, because if you're too calm, then they're like, you're too calm. Like, are you a traitor? Like, so it's hard.
Right.
And I think being a therapist and kind of being able to like
read the room
and also kind of emotionally regulate on my own. Like I know my emotional regulation is better than a lot of people's, especially in this day and age.
Right.
But like, if you weren't telling people you're a therapist, that's going to look suspicious.
Right.
Like you almost have to be like, blah, like.
But I think you have to also know like which way do I go to? Right. Like crashing out in the beginning may not work.
Right.
Versus towards the end. Like if you crash out in the beginning, people might be like, that's really weird. So I think you have to be ready in the moment to go, how do I react to this?
Yes.
Like I think this is one of those where you have to be a smidge more reactive than proactive.
I got you. Okay. Last one. Would you rather win as a faithful who survived or as a traitor who lied?
Sorry, traitor who lied. So sorry.
That's my only thing. Like at the end, like I have seen, because there are seasons where the traitors win and they don't fucking know. Yeah. And then they're like there's one in UK where it's like, oh my God. And the poor faithful, and she really thought he was a faithful. Yeah. But I mean, you can't, the other thing too is I think there are some people, and I will say this is why I think the US seasons are good, is because people who are on reality TV, they understand sort of this, the normies have a hard time. Yeah. They have a hard time with this, but like it is a game. You are signing up for this game, but I
think that's what I would, at the end of the day, be like, this is just a game.
I think I would be happy if I was a traitor and everybody thought I was I think I would have an easier time versus like if you went, because it never goes well if there's more than one traitor at the end at the last ceremony. It never goes well. So anyways.
Yeah. Love it.
I know.
Love that show. No, I'm traitor forever. I mean, I use my powers for good, but I would not actively be stirring the pot. From becoming a evil villain.
I told Justin all the time, I'm like, the thing that some of these traitors, they don't do is they don't just let shit happen and they just don't react to it. Some of them like want to stir, and I'm like, I would not stir the pot.
No.
Like if you and I were traitors and somebody came up to me and they're like, I think Kyle is a traitor. No, I wouldn't be like, yeah, Kyle's a traitor. I'd be like, oh, why do you think that? Yeah, you'd be like, I wouldn't. Some of them really are just like, oh my God, me too. I think he's a traitor. And then they go to the round table and nobody else and it's like, come on. Like, anyways.
Exactly.
Okay. You ready for a gay or straight Traitors edition?
Absolutely.
Some of this is very specific if you have watched the show. I did kind of try to make it more generic, but it's fine.
Love.
Gay or straight, over dramatic at the breakfast table.
It's straight. I'm so very sorry. Straight. I'm so sorry.
Oh my. What about acting at the banishment table?
What about what?
Acting at the round table, or like over dramatics at the banishment ceremony.
It's bi. Yeah, it's bi.
It's bi.
Yeah.
There is a one of the traitors. I think it's the third season. We mentioned her name, Danielle. There's a moment where she overacts, and honestly, I told Justin, I said, if I was sitting there and I saw this, I'd be like,
you're gone.
I'd be looking at her. I'd be like, why are
you gone?
Collapse to the floor, shaking, crying. I knew he was a traitor. And of course, she knew he was a fucking traitor.
Millie Billigan style. Yeah.
She was a mess. Oh, okay. God. Alan Cummings outfits. Gay.
I'm so sorry. So absolutely, Alan. He makes and just makes Traitors.
He is
US.
such a good host. Honestly, the UK host Claudia Winkleman, she is great too. She's very like emo goth, and I love it.
They let Alan pick the traitors. Like they let him do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not that part's not scripted.
Well, I wonder if Claudia picks too.
Maybe
because they show like the interviews where they're talking, and she's like, "Why do you want to be one?" Okay, anyways, gaslighting, gay or straight?
Oh, I want to say gay.
I'm going big straight energy.
Really?
I'm so sorry. Okay. Straight men are gaslight central.
That's true. The gays aren't better. Maybe it's just men.
Gay, straight man.
Gay, straight, or man. Yeah.
Okay. Flirting as a game strategy.
It could be bi leaning straight.
It's straight leaning bi, in my opinion.
Okay, I will accept that. I'll accept that.
I will say, like I said, in the UK season, the first one, there's boyfriend girlfriend, and they don't tell everybody, and then another man starts flirting with this. Yeah, it's really interesting.
My.
And she kind of like, and honestly,
you have to.
Well, you have to.
You have to.
Anyways, Scottish accent, scare straight.
I'm gonna go bi.
Maybe
straight.
I
bi leaning straight.
So I would say bi leaning a little gay.
Okay.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it.
I do like it. And then the last one, drinking wine out of a chalice. Gay or straight.
I'm so sorry. That's gay. I'm so sorry.
There is a season. I think it is the UK. I think it's UK. It is the UK. The fucking traitors, they don't know what a chalice is. So there's a point where, so sorry to everybody listening. They're like, oh, I'm so done with this episode. At one point the traitors have to murder in plain sight, and part of this is they have to get somebody to drink out of a chalice. And these 3 men traitors have no fucking idea what a chalice is, and they're in this like they're trying, and it's hidden in a book in a library, and it literally on the book spine it has like picture of a wine glass. No other books are like that, and they're literally meandering in this library, being like, "I don't where," and they had you only
was that
have
U.S.
No, it's UK. It's UK.
Was it UK?
They do the same thing in the US seasons. Like there's a point, but they're just fucking meandering, and then like people are walking, and I'm just like I'm like they're gonna get found out. They're just fucking around, and it takes them like no joke, probably 10 to 15 minutes to figure out what a fucking chalice is. I was like, no,
men. So sorry.
Oh, so sorry. No, it's great. I recommend. It's you know what? It's another like type of show where it's like you don't have to like you can turn off your brain and just like focus on like what is happening.
The messiness of it.
And again, you don't have to know who anybody is if they're celebrities.
No.
They make a little bit better TV, a little bit more dramatic, but also the norms have a rough go of it for UK.
I mean, any reality TV is going to be a little scripted, and it's going to be a little,
Sure.
But I think this one feels less scripted than others.
I will say I do think the UK one is better in a sense because they really take everybody ages 18 to 80.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of older people, which I appreciate. They have a lot of older older players that some of them go pretty far.
Diversity.
They do. They do actually. They have in the 3rd season. There is a model who she's a disability model.
Love.
There was a former military guy who lost his leg in an IED. So like, and I was like, US, we don't do that. We can't do that. But like UK, there's a little bit more. There's more diversity in the UK season. Right. I will say that
DEI is fine.
Yeah.
There.
I'm about to show you this breakfast after we stop recording.
Oh God.
I'm gonna make you watch it because it's crazy. Anyways,
messy.
But yeah, I highly recommend. We highly recommend.
Yes,
it was a good.
Coming from me, I don't watch reality TV, and I mean, this had me glued. Kyle did not
let me down on this one, so point in your favor for future recommendations.
Well, you'll have to thank Miss Karen. Miss Karen's the one that got us.
Karen and I have talked about it, and I
need
her to watch the UK seasons.
She would have loved to be on the episode to talk about it.
Well, she can apply. We all should apply.
Oh my God,
we all should apply and be like we are all coworkers.
I would love to be traitors with you and Karen. That would be so fun. We would fuck them up.
I genuinely would not betray you guys. Now, if you guys betray me,
I'm so sorry. I would if it came down to it. I'm so sorry.
No, but I wouldn't actively try to like throw you under a bus.
No, I know you wouldn't actively. I know you would only do it to save yourself, which I'd be fine with.
Yeah, same.
No, we could go in saying traitors for life.
Yes.
Hashtag traitor strong. Hashtag I am straighter. Straighter? Traitor. Hashtag.
Canceled.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I am traitor. Oh my God.
Wow.
Anyways, well, if you guys have ideas for episodes for us, for other stuff, depending on if we would watch it, we may do it. I don't know. If anybody has ideas, please, you are fine to let us know. We will take the note.
Because we're here for you. We're here for the people.
Allegedly.
Anyways. Depends on the people.
Exactly. Well, on that.
Stay tired.
And petty.